What is going on? Welcome to Ruu S Room. We're getting to the nitty-gritty of the artists and creatives in the Australian scene. I am Ruu, aka the Culture Black Kid, and today we have Tiffany. She is a Greek R&B house artist based in Sydney. Latest single, Feel My Love, is out right now. Tiffany, how are you doing? Like for real, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm like, there's so much music coming out, and I'm just like working so much on it. So I couldn't feel it any better, honestly.
For sure, for sure. Your latest single's out right now. You put out a number of singles this year. How has your 2024 been in music so far, seeing as we're at the almost the end of the year?
It's been crazy to say the least. I think from the start of this year, I've been working closer with the Beats with Chef team. So I've literally been there like every week. I'm not even going to lie. So we've just been working and kind of pushing the boundaries and trying to be like as creative as possible, which is why like for those who've been like through my journey, you've seen like a bunch of different genres and mixing genres and just like a bunch of different music. So it's just been working a lot on music, but also putting out a lot of music at the same time. So it's been like very fun, but very like busy.
No, for sure, for sure. It's always good to be. I feel like I've said this in a number of interviews. Everyone's been super busy this year and like
Mm,
locked in. So it's really cool to see
yeah,
how the scene has been moving around.
for sure.
Um, so as I just said, Put My Love out right now. As someone who is a connoisseur of music, I always feel like there is a best time and place to listen to something for the first time to get it in its best
Mhm.
quality. So for your most recent single, where and when do you think is the best place and time to listen to that song?
Honestly, Feel My Love is a very fun house track. So I would say definitely listening to it on a warm, hot day, like when the sun's out. So be outside if you're out at the beach with your friends, or, if you're in the car. I always envisioned house music, like being in the car with all the windows down and just like breeze going through your hair. So that's like where I would say is like the best place to like really feel like everything in the song.
No, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And house and any other similar
Mm.
genre is definitely, like you said, fun. Summer, we're coming into summer and summer even more. So it's like, yeah, no, definitely something to
Yeah,
keep
for
the vibe,
sure.
keep the vibes going. All right. Before we get into the main part, I have one more introductory question to you, which is what percentage of yourself do you think your inner circle really knows about you?
My inner circle, honestly, I reckon 100% at this point.
100%. Okay.
I am such an like with my inner circle. I would say my inner circle is very small. I keep it very small, but I'm such an open book, and I'm just out there, to be honest. I let them know everything and anything that's going on in my life. I think my engineers know every single detail about me. But yeah, I would say like pretty much like I would say high 90s for sure that they know about me.
At
For
least, at
sure.
least. Okay. And I mean, you kind of alluded to it maybe, but we'll see if that percentage is different. How much of that percentage do you think you've shared in your music so far?
In my music, oh, that's yeah, I would say like the high 90s as well. I feel like every single song that I've put out has definitely been an experience or a story that's gone on in my life. So nothing has been like super like out of the box where like I don't know what I'm walking into. And I think that's the best part about like your engineers knowing everything about you is because like you can walk in and like the other day I was with Chef and he was like, Tiff, I know you've been going through this, so like you need to put this in a song. And he'll say things to push my buttons to like make me write to that. So yeah, I would say like my music's very vulnerable. It's very like where I'm at in my life, I would say for sure.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, fair enough. Well, hopefully through this main part we can get to know a little bit more of that, high 90s as you referred
Yeah.
to. We're gonna take it back to, well, it's funny, I say this. We're gonna take it back to primary school days, which is funny because you you referred, I'm not sure if you want that out there, that you study teaching. I
Yeah.
mentioned myself as well. So take it back to primary school days. We're gonna do a little bit of a show and tell.
Yeah.
And I've asked Tiffany to get some items, but if not, hopefully we'll at least have a dope story to go along either way. So let's get into it.
Sure.
And number one is what is something that represents who you are as a person?
I would say so my cross that I'm wearing now. And the reason for that is I think that my cross is a constant reminder of my faith and like the sacrifices that Jesus has made for us or like in the religion. And
Yeah.
I think in regards to faith, it's definitely shaped who I am today. So it's made me into the person I am because it's been like a constant moral compass for me growing up. So it's instilled like all the values and morals that I still hold close to this day and keep at the utmost importance. So it's definitely made me who I am today and continues to do so, like through successes and struggles, challenges, like through everything that life throws at you for sure.
Sure, for sure. Now
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. I myself am
Mhm.
also Christian.
Yeah.
And yeah, do you have a favorite Bible verse by any chance?
Oh, there's so much. There's one in the Corinthians. I need to grab the exact verse, but basically what it talks about in the Corinthians is that everything that you do is out of like love of your heart and through charity. So all of your actions and all of your doings is through that. And that's my favorite. It's like Corinthians, is it like 13, 14, something like that. I can't remember the exact verse, but I know
Okay.
it's in Corinthians, but that's always been my favorite one because I feel like in life, you know, when even when struggles come, it's always good to step back and try to make sure that all your actions are being done through love and through charity and nothing, even if you're upset, not to make a decision in the heat of the moment. But yeah.
For sure, for sure. And how has I assume you grew up in a Christian household as well?
Yeah.
Just to assume Greek Orthodox, maybe?
Yes, yes, it's correct.
Cool. How has your family, um, along with your faith, played a part to, who you are as like with your artistry and your creative side?
So, like with faith, I feel like growing up, like I feel like those morals, like to be a good person and um as well as the thing like modesty and classy. And with my brand, if I don't know if people notice, I try to stay on that side of the class and modest. I don't like to show too much. I don't like to be too much in my lyrics. Like I try to keep it like that innocent and that purity in
Mhm.
there as well. So I feel like that's definitely shaped like it's gone into my artistry. Like growing up, it was my grandmother. She made me go every single week with her to church and to every single like we have the Easter traditions and I feel like that's what gave me as well my close relationship with my grandmother. And she used to be a singer. So she used to come to all my shows and be like the like the person in the front row, like, pushing me. So I think even now my artistry, like I just keep doing it like for her through that connection that I have with her and just to make her proud as well.
Amazing, amazing. I love that. I love that.
Mm.
All right, number two. What is your favorite sentimental gift that you have received from someone?
Okay, so I've had a lot. I would say I love sentimental gifts over monetary. I think one of the best things that I've like gotten is a two. So I love when people write me like letters or like cards for my birthday. I always have the best messages. I'm not going to show those, but like when my parents write me, like my dad especially, he writes me like big long paragraphs about how proud he is. And those are stuff that I hold on to because it means so much to me. Another thing is this bracelet. So or my Orthodox fam would probably have one, but this one has a lot more sentimental value. So with this one, my sister got it for me on the day of my grandmother's funeral from the front stand at the church, and it was blessed by like our priest, who's also very close to our family. But I feel like just wearing this bracelet is just a constant reminder of my grandmother. So it pushes me in moments that like might be a bit tough, and I think just constantly reminds me of like my love for her and stuff. So I never like this never comes off. So it's very sentimental and it also reminds me of my sister as well because she gave it to me. So
Of course.
yeah.
Of course. No, I know what you mean, especially in regards to a grandmother losing them. I'm not in that space right now. I usually
Yeah.
when I'm at home and filming in my area and
Yeah.
behind me is a which in previous episodes people
Mhm.
could see. There's a painting because I'm South African
Mhm.
of like Cape Town that my grandma got and that was in that exact place before she went to the old person home. Then she
Mhm.
passed away, and then I took it back from there and put it exactly where it was when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
I know about that. I can get what you mean. No, for
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
But I love that. I love that so much. And yeah, okay. Let's keep moving. Number three. what is the first album that you ever bought or received?
So I'm gonna go with bought. My first album I ever bought is the My World album by Justin Bieber. Oh my gosh. I was the biggest believer. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, I remember in year two, I walked into the living room, Baby was playing on MTV. I looked at my mom and I said, that's my husband. And like from that moment, that's when the obsession started. Like it goes further. Like the day My World album came out, I pretended I was sick. My
Mhm.
mom took me to grocery store. I begged for the My World album. I finally got the album and I played it on my little like CD player. It was like a Miley Cyrus Hannah Montana
Oh
CD
my
player
goodness.
in my room. And
Legendary.
I played it on there and I just went through the whole set list. And it became like a tradition every time that Justin Bieber released an album, whether it was the Boy From When the Believe album, like I would be sick from school, I would go buy that album and I would listen to it. So that's the first album I ever bought and like don't regret it. I love it. I love him.
Oh my goodness. No, I remember that era heavily. I unfortunately was on the other side of that card where I was the
Yeah.
unsecure teenage boy who's like Justin
Yo,
Bieber,
Justin Bieber.
ew, One Direction.
Yeah.
Get that out of my face. But it's still so cool to see how Justin has, from the start of his career to, or,
Yeah.
yeah, to see
He's
how he's
definitely
developed
evolved.
as an artist. And
Yeah.
um, yeah, would you still consider that your favorite Justin Bieber album, or is there one another
Oh,
that
I
stands
would
out?
say my favorite would probably be the Journals album. He didn't really put much marketing into it, so not a lot of people know about it. But it's really R&B to the core, and I feel like he brings out like a really creative side into it. So I really love like his lyrics in it. But I feel like there's also some songs from his newest album, like Justice,
Mhm.
that are very vulnerable, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to it because he goes through things like anxiety and growing up with the pressure of like the world, which is crazy to sit and listen because I feel like as an artist, you really do listen and analyze like the lyrics that artists like do sing about. So yeah, maybe those two. I don't know, it's so hard.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And do you have a favorite Justin Bieber song? I know it's so hard. He's got such a big
Oh
discography,
my gosh.
but if you had to pick one, or one that you're like at least feeling right now.
You have to be classic and just say Baby by Justin Bieber. Like, there's no one that, like, if you put that on, like, I swear I will hear it from like a million miles radius. Like, it's just classic.
For sure. It is definitely one of those tracks that's like,
Yeah,
I don't even hate on it at this point. It's just like, even
exactly.
people like me, or like, yeah, people like me, as we've grown up, you chuck it
Mm.
on. It's like, you know what? The song goes hard. I don't know what 12-year-old me was thinking. Like,
It's
this is hard.
iconic. Like I've been like with like some rappers who like their brand is, I'm not gonna say that, but their brand is like supposed to be very hard and very tough and stuff. And Baby comes on and we're sitting in the car like full jumping to Baby and like singing Baby and I'm looking at them like what's going on? But I feel like Baby's just a universal like iconic song for sure.
100%. Shout out to baby. Shout out to
Yeah.
2021. And finally, with this question, is there a local artist or a local song or project that you've been rinsing recently that you really enjoyed?
Oh my gosh. That is so hard. I would say like local artists, my friends in the artist game, 100%. I have been loving Billy Season. He sent me like all his unreleased songs. So one of my favorites from him, it's a song called Anxiety, which is really crazy. I've like been on repeat. So I really love that song. But like who else? Fortune just dropped Zoo like a little bit ago. That's insane. I literally have it on repeat. He's coming out with like a hood bar soon, and I've been listening to that song like there's no tomorrow. Like there's so many talented people in Australia. It's hard to say one, but yeah, I would say maybe those two.
Okay,
Mm,
fire, fire. All right, let's keep moving. Number four.
yeah.
What is a moment from one of your favorite gigs and sessions?
I did a gig at the Trocadero Room in Enmore the other month. And my favorite moment is so I have a really close circle of artists that like I hang out with all the time. And like we all send each other our music and stuff. And before I got on stage, I was very anxious. I was the opener. I was so nervous. And I'm like, I can't do this. And I get on stage and I'm like, is anyone even gonna know like these songs? Because I was opening for like another artist.
Yeah.
And then like I see all my friends like front row. So we have like Fortune, Billy, Nick, Marcus, like everyone just like front row, just like singing the lyrics and like screaming, like trying to cheer me on. I think like one of the cutest moments is like Fortune saw like in the first song how nervous I was, and he went to like the front row and he's like, clap, everybody, clap. And I'm like, come on, like that is like, I feel like just the support and stuff from people that are so close to you is like it means the world. And just seeing them all there, like singing to every lyric and jumping and like just vibing was amazing. With sessions,
Mm.
like Beats with Chef, my sessions with them, honestly, if like you ever came to it, it's like an ab workout. Like honestly, like the banter that I have with like Barry and Chef is unreal. Like I feel like I don't know, it's just so funny. So I love going there and I feel like every single session is just so fun just
Mm.
because like we can just like joke around and just have fun and just like say the dumbest things, but it's good.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Barry and Sheffer, they're
Oh, next
hilarious.
level.
I remember when I was working on my song Worth with
Mm,
them, and yeah, no, I was so excited to
yeah.
be working on all that stuff, and just again, their
Yeah.
knowledge of how they approach their artistry and production is
Yeah,
really.
they're so good. Like I remember at one time I came into session and I think I had like content to do as well before a session. And I came in and I had just had like the biggest anxiety attack. I was going through like a breakup at the time. And Chef, like he just said the most uncalled, funniest things about this person that like I was sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe I was ever upset. Like, what is going on? Like it was just like it's just good times. Like they know how to make you feel good and just being there, like just Barry's laugh like kills me. Like I can't deal with that.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And to bring it back to the first thing you said in regards to your performing,
Mm.
yeah, look, nerves are going to be consistent no
Yeah.
matter if, you're just starting music or if you're,
Hmm.
one of the biggest artists in the world. So, but always having that, again, support system, uh,
Yeah.
around you, especially at the front being like, yeah, woo, like to cheer
That's
you
what I
on.
mean. It was unreal because like I didn't even know half of them were coming. Some of them told me they couldn't make it. And I was just like, yeah, yeah, it's fine. But deep down, I'm like, oh, like they can't come. And then I see them walk through the door. I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're all here. Like I can't. And like they're all like singing. Like there was a moment where I like there's an ad lib, like when I'm singing a song called Don't Let Me Go. And I'd sing it, and then my friend would sing the ad lib. So I like pulled the like microphone out to the audience and they sung the ad lib. And I'm like, come on, like those are the moments that like I just love.
For sure. For
Mm,
sure. Amazing.
mm,
Amazing. I love that. I love that. All right, number five.
okay.
What is something that represents your dreams and aspirations within your field?
So I would say this thing right here. So I started writing music when I was 13. I was given a keyboard by my uncle. And this holds the very first songs I've ever written in my life.
Wow.
Like it's just like it's like pages and pages full. Like I'd be in the house and I think of like a one line. So I would like put a one line like down here of like what I think could be cool to incorporate in a song. And I feel like these songs are very cringe. Like I could never like expose these. But like I feel like looking back at this and having this, like I have like I think of like a stack of like five in my cupboard. But looking back at this like really shows me like the dream from like a young age. Like I've wanted this since like I was pretty much born. Like I've been addicted to music and just seeing myself writing music at such a young age and then looking at my lyrics now and seeing the growth through my dream. And there's moments where I'm like, oh, like, do I really want to do this? And then I look back and I'm like, look how much like you've grown so far. You can only grow so much now. Like you're gonna keep going. So it's been crazy to say the least. But I feel like these things, like just the more sentimental things like these, and like I have like little home cam videos. My mom would make me sit down and like do little performances. So just seeing that, it's just a constant reminder of like what the pure dream was from when I was young. And yeah,
No, for
like
sure.
not letting anything getting between that.
Of course, of course. And
Mhm.
everyone's going to start somewhere, 100%.
Yeah.
And but being able to see the journey and where you've started to be like,
Mhm.
especially at times, like you said, sometimes you might be hard on yourself and be like, wow,
Yeah.
do I really want to keep going? Or
Yeah.
I'm not where I want to be. It's like, go, but like, I'm still further than I was when I started, or I'm still
Yeah.
further than I was even 2 weeks ago or something like that. So it's
Mhm.
like, having those type of reminders is like it's a great, thing to be like, okay, this is funny because maybe my lyrics are a little cringe or whatever, but it's still
Exactly. Like
it's
I'm
like,
like, what is a 12-year-old writing about heartbreak? Like who broke your heart? Like, come on. Like you just walk to school. Come on.
like
But
relax.
like, it's all the start of something.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, no, that's dope. That's dope. Okay, so we got one more question before we get out of here. But before we get to that, it's time to play a game because I love to play this game.
Okay.
So what I am going to get you to do is build your ultimate collab track. It is
Okay.
going to be yourself, three other artists, one producer, and one videographer slash director, and it's all local artists.
Okay. Videographer, director, Al's creative. I use him on every single project I do, and I absolutely love him.
Mhm.
Producer, I have to say Beats for Chef again. Best in the industry. No one can beg to differ here. Three artists.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I have to keep it local. Okay. I would say Lara and Darlo.
Mhm.
She is amazing. That girl, Bella,
Ooh, okay.
she's insane as well. And then, oh, third one in Australia. Mm. I'm going to have to say Billy Season. I've been bumping his stuff lately, so I reckon a song with them three would be in like not even the three, but the three artists plus
Yeah.
producer and the videographer would be insane.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fire. Fire. What would be happening in this video for this for said song? Do you
Oh
think?
gosh. I don't know. I feel like just something like very fun. Like I like nothing that's like too planned. Like maybe like we're running for the city, like doing like just fun things, just stupid things, but like very fun and just yeah, very spontaneous. I don't know. I really have to think about that. But yeah, just something that's just like I don't know. Yeah, very fun, I would say. Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, okay, fire. Well, let's see if that turns into anything.
Well, hopefully we'll see.
For sure. Okay, as I mentioned, we got one more question before we get out of here. So what is a personal moment that stands out to you that has impacted your music in a certain way?
You know, I'm going to say one of my breakups. Like this
Mhm.
I'm just gonna be very out there. I would say that before that, I was doing very like house things, so lovey-dovey, like whatever. I'm like in my house element. And when that happened, I feel like it pushed me to enter genres I haven't done before and really take my writing to a different level because I've always written from the perspective of romance and of pure love and whatnot. And at that time, I remember I went into the studio and I went back into like my normal habits of writing about that. And Chef looked at me and was like, Tiff, come on, you need to flip this. We need a bad B moment.
Yeah,
You are going to go home and you're going to write and you're going to come back. And I was like, oh, I was like, okay, okay. And then I came in and we were still like tweaking the lyrics, and Chef would be like, okay, imagine this person just did this and just said this to you. All right, now get in the booth and sing. And I'm like, oh. But I feel like that very much like spun my career because it really pushed me to be very creative and kind of get a lot of my emotions out there. And with that, like being said, I was able to connect with a whole new audience. Like a lot of young girls, especially, were like messaging me saying, like, I really appreciate like the song, that this makes me feel so confident and this makes me see things in different lights. And I wasn't writing in the aspects of being like sad and depressed and I'm gonna sit in my room, although that music can be very helpful. I was kind of just being like, you know what, like I'm confident, like this has happened for a reason, and like you just keep going. And yeah, I feel like it really resonated with a lot of people. So I feel like that's definitely a moment that changed a lot in my artistry for sure.
for sure, for sure. Sometimes you just need that extra push or that
Yeah.
like when things are put into a different perspective and
Yeah.
a combination of that to just be like open
Yeah.
even more doors.
For
For sure.
sure. And I feel like I was able to like get like a bit of truth out there and people to really see what I was like dealing with or going through like the last years or wherever, like however long was in that. But yeah.
For sure. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I think on that note, I think it is time to get out of here. But thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
coming
much for
on.
having me on. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. So here is where I like to let the people lets you let the people know what is out, what maybe is coming up.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Okay, so I have a song out now. It's called Feel My Love. It's a house song. It's very lovey. It's about falling for someone. Speaking from experience when I was writing this song. And then like to back up this release, I have so much house music coming out this summer. My next one's called Addicted, which is absolutely crazy. Like I can't wait. Afro House, we've also incorporated, European elements into it. So just being very creative with it, trying to create different sounds, but also trying to keep it, I guess, universal for everyone. So I can't wait for you guys to hear all this new music.
sure, for sure. Shout outs. Once again, I am Root, aka the Culture Black Kid, Tiffany, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.